You're saying mind is really universal.
Mind is universal, if you can use that word.
Yes, or unlimited, or
yes,
undivided.
Not polluted by thought.
But see, I think for most people, at least there will be a difficulty saying, how do we know anything about this mind? I only know my mind is the first feeling, right?
You cannot call it your mind. You only have your brain, which is conditioned. You can't say it's my mind.
Yes. Well, whatever is going on inside, I feel is mine. It's very different from what's going on inside somebody else.
No, I question whether it's...
At least that seems different at
yes,
first sight.
I question whether it is different. What's going on inside me as a human being and you as another human being, we both go through all kinds of problems, suffering, fear, anxiety, loneliness, and so on and so on. Yeah. We have our dogmas, beliefs, superstitions, and everybody has this.
Well, we'll say it's all very similar, but still it seems each one of us is isolated from the other.
But by thought. Thought is created that I am different from you.
Yes.
Because my body is different from you, my face is different from you. So we carry that same, we extend that same thing into the psychological area.
Yes, we've discussed that. But now, if we say, all right, that division is an illusion, perhaps, now then...
no, not perhaps.
No, let's say it is. It's an illusion, all right, now, although it is not obvious when a person first looks at it.
Of course.
Now then, and we say mind... Not only, in reality, even brain is not divided, because we're saying that we're all not only basically similar, but really connected, right? And then we say beyond all that is mind, which has no division at all.
It is unconditioned.
Yes, which would almost seem to imply then that insofar as a person feels he is a separate being, he has very little contact with mind, right?
Absolutely, quite right. That's
where you say has no mind.
That's why it's very important to understand, not the mind, but my conditioning. Mm-hmm. Then whether that my conditioning, human conditioning, can ever be dissolved. That's the real issue.
Yes, I think that, still the mind, we won't call it the mind, but a human being considers always what is the meaning. You see, I think we want to understand the meaning of what is being said. You see, that we have a mind that is universal, that is in some kind of space, you say. Or is it its own space?
It is not in me or in my brain.
But it has a space.
It lives in space.
It lives in a space, right?
And silence.
And silence, but it's the space of the mind, right? It's not a space like this space.
No. And that's why we said space is not invented by thought.
Yes. Now, is it possible then to perceive this space when the mind is silent? Or to be in contact with it?
Not perceive.
Or when the brain is?
Let's see. You're asking a question whether the mind can be perceived by the brain.
Or at least somehow be aware, an awareness or a
yes,
sense.
Yes. And we are saying yes, through meditation. You may not like to use that word.
Well, I don't mind.
I think it is possible to bring about, she said that's the difficulty. When we use the word meditation, it's generally understood there is always a meditator meditating. Meditation is really an unconscious process. It's not a conscious process.
Well, and how are you able to say that meditation takes place then if it's unconscious?
It is taking place when the brain is quiet.
Well, you mean by consciousness all the movement of thought?
Yes, movement of thought.
With feeling, desire,
yes,
will, and all that goes with it, right? But there's a kind of awareness still, isn't there?
Oh, yes.
Yes. See,
it depends what you call awareness.
Yes.
Awareness of what?
I don't, possibly awareness of something deeper, I don't know.
See again, when we use the word dipa, it's a measurement. I know, so I would use.
Well, let's not use that, but let's say that some kind of, the brain is not, see, there's a kind of unconsciousness which you're simply not aware of at all. A person may be unconscious of some of his, his problems, his conflicts.
Let's go at it a little bit more. If I do something consciously, it's the activity of thought.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's thought reflecting on,
yes,
on itself.
It's the activity of thought. Now, if I consciously meditate, practice, do all this kind of what I call nonsense, then you are making the brain conform to another series of patterns.
Yes, it's more becoming. It's
more of becoming. That's right.
Yes, you're trying to become better.
There is no, you can't, there is no illumination by becoming. You can't be illumined, if I can use that word, by saying I'm going to be a chief.
Yes, but now it seems very difficult to communicate something which is not conscious, you see.
That's the difficulty.
But it's not just being knocked out, or, a person is unconscious if he's knocked out too, but you don't mean that.
No.
Or under anesthetic, or...
No, let's put it that way. Conscious meditation, conscious activity to control thought, to free oneself from conditioning, is not freedom.
Yes, I think that's clear.